previously on CCTV.
She had the NSYNC phone.
There's an NSYNC phone? So perfect for the situation that they had just come out of with Mr. Perlman.
It's gonna be May. Moving on to the next era, for the next album, NSYNC took on even more creative control, and JC and Justin took the lead. Lance was focusing more on the business side, while Joey and Chris took the lead on planning tours and performances, which makes sense. I mean, Universal Studios, hello. And this time, the group wasn't as focused on making pop hits. They instead wanted to experiment more and expand on what pop music means to them and what it could sound like.
So in May 2001, NSYNC released the first single from the new project, Pop.
Come on now, ever wonder why this music gets you high? It takes you on a ride. You feel it when your body starts to ride. You can't stop, dance now. All you got. Come on now, it's supposed to be.
And written by Justin Timberlake and choreographer Wade Robson, the song was also produced by BT, who is an iconic electronic producer known for stutter editing, which is used prominently within the song. And Jive, the label, was very hesitant at first to release the single because they felt it was a little too out there, with Justin's beatboxing and elements of electro-funk, EDM, and hair metal, just to name a few of the many influences in this song. But they did not need to worry because the song was a huge hit and ended up winning a ton of awards, including multiple Video Music Awards.
This video was interesting because like them being in this huge, like weird kind of Willy Wonka-esque studio, but it was a club, was interesting. And then, you know, Justin being he was in his white chocolate phase. So he had like the buzz cut and he's like, you know what I'm talking about. So him talking about, the pop, like it's kind of fizzied up here, a little bit down there. I was like, this is them at their finest. They're funny. They don't take themselves too seriously, but they're going to give you vocals and performance. And this song is the culmination of all that, but it's actually a single, not a B-side, not something that you would catch on a concert tour. It's their single. This is their Space Cowboy, but just a little bit more like genre blended, if you will. And the way they sang their parts of their songs were just so aggressive and powerful and sick and tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm sick too. Oh my God. But I like just the whole idea of it. It's just like pop music doesn't have to be super serious, and somehow it became super serious, but you can just have fun. Like if you like the music, it's pop. If you feel like you want to dance, it's pop music. If it's popular, it's pop. It takes you someplace. This is pop. Like them defining what pop is. And I mean, at the time they had the authority to do so. So the song is super out there. I like it. It's probably one of my favorites by them because it's just really like, huh? Wait, where's the R&B? It's there. It's just there with other genres.
Yeah.
It's a weird song for sure, though.
It definitely is them kind of going to the next level for sure. Because, I think like what you were saying, like pop was so formulaic at that time. Because, this early 2000s was kind of the peak of it. You had every pop star kind of sounding the same, really. And a lot of those songs sounded the same. So them coming out here and trying something different was definitely appreciated. And of course, the label was like, I don't know, labels hate risk-taking, as we know. But yeah, super catchy. And I agree with you. I love that they're not taking themselves too seriously as well. And even in the video, it's kind of a good balance of we're really cool and we're having so much fun, but it's also kind of just making fun of everything, right? Because it's so extra with the camera effects. Yes. It's super colorful. All the slow-mo and the speed ups. Yes. Image-wise, it's kind of crazy that this was only 3 years after I Want You Back. Second video, at least, I Want You Back. Yeah, like they look
That's crazy.
Way more grown for sure. And the confidence, the confidence was obviously there from the beginning with the Disney special, at least.
Yes.
But now it's insane. It's so good. It's so even more effortless.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what the next level of effortlessness is, but it is that. And the choreo is pretty iconic for sure. Like shout out to Wade Robson. Obviously that relationship, friendship did not turn into something good at the end.
Yeah.
But his contribution to pop, I also am very thankful to him as well for at least that part of it.
Yes. So before the new album was released, the group started on the Pop Odyssey Stadium tour. And right in the middle of the run, the album Celebrity was released in July 2001. JC and Justin co-wrote almost every track on the project, which is really exciting. And the second single from the album was Gone, a track that Justin had initially written for Michael Jackson.
Been sitting here, can't get you off my mind. Try my best to be a man and be strong. I drove myself insane, wishing I could touch your face. But the truth remains, you're gone.
Good track, but it's another one that I maybe appreciate more now than I used to. I remember at the time I was kind of like, it's fine. You know, I think after Pop, that was like so energetic and so fun. And then you kind of do the drama of this. I was kind of like, okay. But of course, you look at it from the business perspective, right? So Justin and JC were obviously being primed to be solo artists. Justin originally wrote this for MJ, and then MJ got back too late. And then he wanted to do it as a duet with Justin, but not with NSYNC. You know, it was all just very clearly leading towards the eventual solo careers here. So in addition to being a good song, it's also, you know, a very deliberate business choice. But yeah, it's got a really nice melody. Justin's vocal on it is really, really good. But it's definitely not my favorite on the album.
No, I feel like it's just, it does definitely sound like Justin, like what he would do later on. And that's kind of like, it's okay in terms of like it being for him, but you guys are a group, and I feel like there's a little bit more that could have been done. Just a wee bit more in terms of making it more of like a group song instead of him sitting there singing by himself. Even watching the concerts, couldn't even finish that sentence. Even watching the concerts, you can see him kind of step away. Everyone's still singing on the stage. He goes, oh, no, I'm sitting here and get you out of my mind. Like, come on, if you don't let someone...
I know, JC could have at least taken that second verse. Come on now.
Please, God. You know, that's my only kind of gripe with it. It's a solid song.
What do you think of the album?
Man, first of all, Celebrity as a title is great because it wasn't them being like, when I grow up, I want to be famous. It was more just like you said, it's them not taking themselves seriously, them just kind of making a commentary on what it's like to be a celebrity. Even with the title track, Celebrity, you have Lance, if I was a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Good for Lance. Because no one could hit that note but you, boo. You got it. But yeah, songs like that, you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, okay, we're getting the vibe of it. But once you get past those like pop songs and then the title track, you're getting into some solid tracks like Tell Me Baby, Just Don't Tell Me That, Up Against the Walls one, like a fun one to me, because I'm just like, again, they're like in their hot boy 20s. Oh my gosh, where are the songs like this? I need a little bit more. Give me some dirty. Just a little bit, because I think it's just interesting to kind of hear men, women, whomever, kind of coming into their own kind of like sexiness and then talking about it. Where I can have anyone I want, so come here. It's just fun. We all get that kind of vibe where it's like, my hair looks really nice today, or like my clothes are like really tight or whatever. Tight. Wow, the 90s have bit me. Like it's just. But yeah, there's something about those kinds of songs, like Up Against the Wall. It's fun. It's not like a perfect like, oh my God, this is like this is their opus. This is amazing, but it's fun. And Game Over is a good one because like they do breakup songs so well. You know, they're grown men now. Not all the time is it gonna be, oh girl, God send me an angel. Sometimes it's like, no, you played yourself. And I love this song, like I like things like that. But there's some other tracks I feel like you and I both like too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're gonna say no.
So it's interesting listening back now to this. I will say I probably listened to the Celebrity album the least out of the three. I'm just not as connected to it for some reason. And when I was trying to analyze that, I think it's just because it isn't as hit heavy. Like you can tell they were trying to just experiment a bit and take some more risks there. And I think it does work with some songs more than others. But I think because of that, it's not the most cohesive album. Like those first couple songs that you called out, like the Tell Me, and those were more from like the Max Martin camp and that kind of more safe songs. But then they're not as good as the previous Max Martin's Swedish song. So then it's like, okay, so they're like, they're not filler, but they're not singles. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then you have the more progressive stuff, which tends to be the ones that I prefer, right? Which we were talking about, like Do Your Thing.
Those are good.
The last song on the album. And then the Two of Us as well.
So good.
You know, because I think also it makes sense, like there's some UK garage influence in there. There's some very effortless coolness in there. And that's just kind of, I tend to just lean towards stuff like that for sure. So I think, yeah,
no,
for
those
sure.
are
Some of my favorites in the whole of NSYNC's discography. But I think as a whole project, it feels a little disjointed, I would say. And it makes me really sad because, spoiler alert, this was their last album. And... or I think you may have already said that, but yeah, this is their last album. So it sucks because it almost felt like this was the transition to them being like they were about to hit like their mid-20s and stuff. And it felt like they could maybe leave the Max Martin world next time. And then they could really kind of hone it in and then do it exactly how they want to. And it sucks because it ended right before that.
Listen, Two of Us, love that. I didn't know the dance. The Two of Us, the Two. So cheesy, but I love it. And the dance, like there's a remix on their tour version that goes into like this like Jordan McKnight kind of like bop at the end. I'm like, yes, give that to me. Oh, they always remix their song so well. But yes, back to you, Chris, on the NSYNC news.
Well, so the final single from the album was Girlfriend, and there also was a new remix, which was produced by the Neptunes and featured Nelly.
I got an idea. Don't you be my girlfriend? I'll treat you good. I know you hear your friends when they say you should. 'Cause if you were my girlfriend, I'd be your shining star. The one that shows you where you are. Girl, you should be my girlfriend.
And from what I read, actually, Nelly's label was really hesitant about letting him on it, but he was adamant about it. And it was his first kind of big feature. So that worked out because it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
And it would eventually become the group's last single so far. I'm gonna keep that so far in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I respect that. You know what? Shout out to Nelly hopping on because he's like, I met these boys at the Super Bowl. I had to hop on a song. You know? Let me stop. I had to rap. I had to say it the way he raps. But you know, I mean, he was the hottest guy at the time, so I get why he was at the Super Bowl. We didn't mention him, but him coming out in the middle was great. But you know, he was the hottest guy, so it's good to kind of have him on the song in terms of like new audience. You know, he's a new guy, so it worked out. But yeah, I think I'm more familiar with this version because of the way I just rapped it. I just recognize that his rap flow. But yeah, no offense to the song, other than you know, nothing like that. But this will be the last single. Okay, I guess you know. But it's interesting how like this relationship with the Neptunes and Justin kind of suddenly was forged. Lord knows how it happened, but you know, Justin's always been kind of interested in things like that because even on, I forgot what song it is. Oh my God, I can't remember. It's on this album. He does like a fricka, very Timbaland-esque kind of vocal break. Justin's very much into that. He was always very into that hip hop thing. And then JC was kind of like into the older stuff. So it's interesting to kind of see them like come together. But yeah, no, I think the single, it's okay. It does what it needs to do. It sounds like them, but like, not like wow bang.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you look at it more big picture, like this clearly is the sound that Justin ends up doing, right, for his first album and onwards, really. And even the video is almost a part one to Like I Love You, which was Justin's debut single. Like it's kind of the same vibe there.
It is.
I do enjoy the song though. Again, it just feels like it's a transition song. Like this is us heading towards this new kind of more mature phase, leaving the Swedes behind.
Basically,
you know?
basically, yeah.
And there's a slickness to it that's not in anything else of the singles, at least. The harmonies, though, I will say, are actually very beautiful on this. They are pushed up. You do get to hear really beautiful harmonies from all five of them throughout. So yes, thank God for that. And the music video, you know, fits the song. again, it's like almost a grown-up version of what we were saying before, where they were like glorifying the like high school jock thing. Now they're like, you know, these college kids that go to these like drag races. But it's a good video, and yeah, it's a little anticlimactic though, as their last single.
Well, the album and its singles performed very well commercially, but compared to the extreme heights that No Strings Attached had reached, it was not quite as successful. And after NSYNC finished the celebrity tour in 2002, the group agreed to go on what was supposed to be a temporary hiatus.
Yes, it was only supposed to be 6 months. It's giving Spice Girls, but at least Spice Girls did come back together for the third album. But yeah, so we're focusing on the group, so we're not going to get too deep into the solo stuff. Let us know if you would like us to, though. I would love to actually talk through Justin's solo career.
We've been talking about it, yeah.
And even JC's stuff we've talked about. You know, his solo career as well has been very tumultuous, so it's interesting. But let's give a little snapshot on kind of what was going down. So Justin and JC had wanted to work on solo material, and obviously the record label was also gearing them towards working on solo material. So they both were signed to Jive Records as solo artists. The other three, I don't think they wanted to be solo artists, but I doubt the label would have even signed them, even if they wanted to.
Yeah. No, you're so... Stop giggling. Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Like, that's just the situation they were in. So Lance, his biggest thing was that he was certified by NASA and the Russian space program as an astronaut. He unfortunately never actually got to go into space, but he is a certified astronaut, at least.
Yes.
So maybe one day, although... Actually, yeah, maybe one day, right? Like, it could still happen. I don't know.
It could.
Joey did some acting gigs in a few films, and he also presented on television game shows, and he also went on Broadway as well. That was a big thing. I think he was on Rent, and he did, was it Beetlejuice or Rocky Horror? I forget what else he did.
I can't remember.
But he did a couple shows. Yeah. Chris ended up actually starting an alternative rock band, and he also did some acting and hosting. So they were all active. You know, as well as they could. But of course, JC and Justin were the ones who did release solo music. So Justin released Justified as his first album kind of less than a year later, right? With almost instant success. And that was catapulted, I think, by Cry Me a River and the whole Britney fiasco. I think that actually helped him.
Yes.
And then JC released his very experimental album, Schizophrenic, which was not successful. And long story short, he was screwed over by multiple parties. He did not have the same budget and support that Justin did. And the eventual Janet Jackson Super Bowl controversy ended up affecting JC also, just for being an adjacent party. So there's a lot there. But at the end of the day, Justin had reached a ton of success, and the group did not come back together to release anything else.
You know, I always say this. I was like, I think I said to you, like at your house one time, I was like, bro, if Justified did not work out, this man would have been, guys, I'm back. I swear to you, there was no way. If Justified would have flopped, be a different conversation. No offense, Justin. I love Justin. I love me some white chocolate Justin. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm a fan too. I've seen him in concert. You know, like I am a big fan. Yeah, at least of his first couple albums.
Ain't that something? But you know, I've always kind of had that feeling. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Like the relationship that you've developed and the conversation that you had, and now you're working with the Neptunes, and they're producing for every hot hip hop artist. So you have a feature by the Clips, who was super hot at the time. You're getting all these awesome licks on your cuts on your album, and you're going to a studio in Virginia to work with them personally. So they're making it purposely for you. So you're getting all the hottest tracks, and you already have your own. He was already like really musically talented as well. So I mean, him and JC used to make demos together. So it only checks out that he was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm trying to do, and I can't do it with the group. Or who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to do it with the group. Either way, I feel like he just knew that he had to do it. or just, I guess, suffer or just feel regret for not doing it. So fan of Justin. I feel bad for JC. I mean, he's doing fine for himself. He's done work with a lot of artists, K-pop artists, Western artists, Meow Mix. You know, he's been doing his thing.
That's a new one.
I know. I just want to throw that out there because Chris showed me like a couple weeks ago. Listen, I love you. I love you, JC. And, you know, everyone seems happy. And also, if I were a group member, I would love to be like a Joey. Like, I can sing. I can sing. I can. But in terms of like personality wise and just being a solid like a person and feel there for the group and what he's doing now, I probably would end up like that in a group. Like the one doing like the variety shows and the hosting and so good for him for not feeling like he had to make music that was recorded. He did the Broadway, he did Big Fat Greek Wedding, he did all these other things. And even the other gentlemen, like they found their own kind of route. Like Chris could sing, but I think he just realized like pop is not his bag, which is fine. He did like some country show too, even Gone Country or something. So it's like they all were able to find their own way without, you know, you see some groups and someone's an addict of some sort, or someone is kind of down on their luck, or someone just did something that completely destroyed their career where no one actually trusts their talent anymore. So kudos to them, happy for them. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's interesting to see like this was their last album. Like you said, I wish we could have got something a little bit more, but whatever, I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, well, before the official breakup, they did actually reunite in 2003 for the Grammys, where they did an a cappella Bee Gees medley.
Yes.
And they also performed the national anthem at their charity event in 2004. But as I mentioned, Justin's huge solo success eventually led to him in 2004 confirming to the boys and to the public that he had left the group. And he actually later claimed that he felt he was growing out of the group and that he wanted to create the music he wanted to make, and he felt like he didn't want to compromise, et cetera, et cetera. But unfortunately for some of the other members, they were expecting the group to reunite during those few years. And I think Joey has talked about this. I think Lance has talked about this, that they turned down some professional opportunities that they shouldn't have needed to if they knew that the group was already over, because they were prioritizing their time for the eventual NSYNC reunion. So I think Lance mentioned that maybe there was a sitcom or something that he was up for, just like more of these long-term projects that they could have done if they knew they had the time for it.
Yeah, Joey, I was watching something and Joey was like, I'm a closure kind of person. I needed closure. Like, and it's true. If you don't say anything to me as a person, I'm going to think there's a chance. Like, I don't do well with like not being communicated like that. So I can get why they were all kind of hoping for. Yeah, I need you to say no. Like, okay. You know? And I also kind of feel a little bit bad that they didn't feel confident enough, or like the record labels didn't feel confident enough to like at least let the others get together. There's no offense, like Joey can sing those notes. Chris can sing those notes. Like just rearrange the songs. No offense. But it just sucks that you're getting kind of held back because you're waiting for someone who is just the star. I get it. But at the same time, it's just like, let them. They can sing just as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, I think clearly, like, the boys have kind of gotten over everything that went down at the time, but it does really suck. Like, their whole career, like, from the very beginning, they were kind of told that two of them were the stars, and the other three kind of just had to play their part behind them.
Yeah.
And there was no support to set them up.
Yeah.
Afterwards. Like, they had to do all that stuff on their own, which really sucks, I think. Yeah. And I don't think that's fair.
No, exactly.
But unfortunately, like you mentioned, it is the reality of pretty much every pop group out there. The Backstreet Boys actually being maybe one of the only ones that's not. Right?
That's my thing. Yeah.
Which is very interesting, and that would be for another episode. But yeah, it is really sad that they weren't all given the same opportunities.
Yeah.
And JC especially. He's so talented.
Absolutely.
He's so talented. But he has since mentioned he's working on a musical, which I'm quite excited about. And he did go to both & Juliet premieres for inspiration. So that's promising.
And I wasn't there. Damn. I'm joking. Like, I know this man's married. I'm totally joking. But, you know,
Yeah,
it's just singer JC, love him.
Yeah.
As a married man, no. That's just all you, girl. But, oh my God, like pop star JC, I love you.
But yeah, I mean, there have been other projects, other little reunions through the years. So, yes.
The group has since released some compilation albums, starting with the greatest hits in October 2005, which included I'll Never Stop, which had never previously been released in the US. The label also released The Collection in 2010 and The Essential NSYNC in 2014, the latter of which included unreleased recording from the group's earlier years. And the group members had no idea that the project was even being released. Yay, we love the admin at record labels. We love it.
It did chart, though, so it shows that the fans are still there. And I actually do love that Essential project. First off, because it does have that For the Girl Who Was Everything version that I was telling you all about earlier. But also there's some really cool like unreleased demos and stuff on there. Like their cover of The Lion Sleeps Tonight is hilarious.
Oh my God, yes.
You know? And now they're just like more Eurodance / like Swedish songs, you know?
Yes. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Question for you. Who owns the rights to their music now? Because Jive got like sucked up by who now?
Yeah, so it's very confusing because Jive is back under RCA, but it's not the same RCA that was RCA before.
Okay, that's for another episode.
Yeah, so basically the music industry kind of fell apart pretty much after the boys fell apart. Yep. Oh, maybe we can blame them for ruining. No, I'm kidding. We can blame Napster. We can blame Napster because the whole downloading era is what kind of ruined the music industry. So a lot of the labels were like bought out by each other. So it's now just been consolidated a lot more. But technically, NSYNC are still signed to RCA Records because after their Jive record deal transferred over, they're technically still contractually obligated. They're not contractually obligated to record new music, but if they record new music, they have to do it under RCA. And I believe there's 2 more albums under that deal, from my understanding. So, yeah.
Facts. Drop it.
Yep. So in addition to these label releases, the group has reunited physically a few times as well in public. I'm sure they've hung out, you know, like in private, right? But first up, in 2013, Justin got to perform a career-encompassing set to celebrate him receiving the Video Vanguard Award at the MTV Video Music Awards, and he invited the NSYNC members to participate in a very, very short medley of Girlfriend and Bye Bye Bye.
Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye.
Look.
You look very unimpressed.
Yeah, because my boo had to sit there and hit runs at the end of the song. The song that already stopped. He's sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. This is my baby. I felt so bad. I was like, okay,
oh my God.
Here's the thing. 2 minutes and 14 seconds exists on the internet. Why is it time that little? Like, not for nothing, but JT's not Beyonce. You know what Beyonce does? We at least get 5 songs. When we get remixes of those 5 songs. Oh my gosh. Even for the Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm going to calm down. Even for the Super Bowl, you could have brought them out, bruh. That would have been...
I know, everyone wanted it. Well, everyone really wanted Janet, so...
Oh, but this is true.
He did invite Janet.
He did. I appreciate that.
He said no.
But my thing is, you opted to do Purple Rain when you and Prince had beef, when you could have just did NSYNC. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole beef is none of my business, but it's just it's like a kind of a joke now at this point. But it's one of those things where it's just like, bring them out. It's what we want. Please and thank you. He is so talented that I will never take that from him. Listen, White Chocolate Justin lives in my heart right here. But I also like NSYNC. But yes, anyway, moving on off the soapbox. In 2018, the group received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in LA and reunited for its reveal. Yay! And they also appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show where they played Never Have I Ever, which was so much fun.
It was the 20th anniversary of the first album in the US, right? So, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it just sucks because they didn't have anything else around it. Like, we didn't at least get, I don't know, even a new remix of a song or something. You know, it was just a bit odd. I will say the speeches were really beautiful, though. Like, you can tell, like, the chemistry is still there. They were super, super thankful. All the shout outs to Robin and their moms as well. Like, Justin shouted out their moms at the end because he was like, I was 14 and you let me do this. So that was really, really sweet. And yeah, the Ellen interview was fine, but like, it was just so anticlimactic. It was like, it was just over, you know, within a couple hours, and then nothing happened.
No, you're right. I think I just enjoyed watching them together. That's what was so fun about it. It was them, not the whole. There was no fanfare. Not enough for me.
Yeah, they could have at least given us like an a cappella chorus, though. Like, wasn't it on like April? Wasn't that near the end of April? Like, give us "It's Gonna Be Me" like a cappella. Like, that's all we need. Anyway, in 2019, moving on, Ariana Grande invited the group to perform with her during her headlining Coachella set. Justin was unfortunately unable to join due to him being on his own solo tour, but the other 4 members appeared to perform "It Makes Me Ill," which Ariana had sampled in her own song, "Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored," and "Tearing Up My Heart." And Justin did give his blessing for the other 4 to do it without him. So
it was kind of interesting to watch the guys kind of get back on stage with their dad bods. It's so funny. Because we all age, you know? And they all still have it, whatever it was and whatever it is. It's just a little like dusty or a little tarnished, whatever. It just needs a little bit more polishing or a little bit more practice, but they're not given that opportunity because they don't know when it's going to come. So why work so hard at it, right? When you have other things to worry about. But it was fun to watch Ariana try to do their steps. I feel so bad. She was in those big old platform heels and they're doing all the tearing up my heart. Like, it was a lot. And you know, shout out to JC, you know, trying to hit them notes. It's interesting because I'm just like, damn, we only have so much time left with these guys to like really get these, like, to sing these notes. Like, New Edition's a little bit older than them, I think. And even listening to them, I'm like, oh my God, my heart. Like, oh, how much more time do we have before we can't get another moment like this? So I was really grateful at least to kind of see them all together. And they did fine without Justin. Sorry.
They did.
Just want to, no offense. Love you, Justin. Sorry. Yeah. But
I will say watching the footage, maybe it's just because of the way that live stream was for Coachella, but it felt like that crowd wasn't fully appreciating how amazing and monumental that moment was.
Absolutely not.
Which is very disappointing. But it sounds like from the interviews and stuff that all 4 of them had the best time. And JC said that it's fulfilled a dream for him.
Yeah.
But honestly, Coachella, just invite the full group. Like, come on now. But there is a very short behind the scenes video actually on YouTube. It's only like a minute, but you get to hear some of the a cappella harmonies. Like, you see them practicing it, and it sounds so good. Like, they still have it for sure. Yeah. So it was nice to see them on stage for sure. And that Ariana sample's awesome. So
yeah, she was smart for that one. That was perfect. Yeah. Like I said, makes me ill. But yeah, so throughout the years, the various members have also had many reunions. For example, Lance has had a few members on his podcast, and Kristen and Joey have performed together. Chris with his broken arm was hilarious, going at it. Man, can't say nothing about this group. They gave it to you. And a few of them were actually in a Progressive insurance commercial. And most recently, JC did the Meow Mix.
The others aren't in that one, though. But at least it's NSYNC adjacent with those harmonies.
I know. I'm so sorry. I just went through that. Like, I saw a commercial. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. First off, shout out to Lance. Thank you, Lance, because you had the other members and NSYNC related people like Johnny Wright, etc., on your podcast. So thank you, Lance, because he also asks a lot of the questions that the fans want to know as well. Like, he always asks the reunion question. And everyone's obviously a little more upfront and honest with him. Like, even JC, I think in his, he was like, I'm only talking about this because you're the one asking me. Like, I normally ignore this question. But it's actually interesting because in the latest interviews, I think from maybe 2020, 2021, it's actually JC who sounds the most hesitant about a reunion, more so than Justin. Like, when Justin was asked about it, he basically was like, I could picture some really cool things we could do together. We just need to actually talk about it, but I'm open to it.
Yeah.
And JC was the one who was more like, is there anything else we really need to accomplish here? Like, what could we do to even improve on anything that we already did? Like, he seemed very not sure about it. And it doesn't sound like which is surprising watching all these old tours and stuff, it doesn't sound like that performing actually is that big to him.
Right.
It's the music
making.
Yeah, it's the creation, it's the production, it's the writing. It's that he loves, and it's not the performing, even though he was so good, which is insane.
Oh my God,
insane.
Yes.
So that's very interesting because, I think people just assume that it's Justin that's, not letting it happen, or that he's preventing it. But I think JC's been kind of holding back on it too. The other three seem up for it though.
This man is getting older. He's married. He's settled in. Like, I think any kind of touring would take him away from the life that he seems very happy with, or at least satisfied and contented with.
Rumors have been swirling though. So for context, we are filming this in mid-August.
Yes.
And just 2 hours ago, E.T. Entertainment Tonight and loads of other well-known publications are starting to post about some rumors because the new Trolls film, Band Together, is due out in November 2023. And so for those that don't know, Justin is not only a lead voice in the cartoon, a lead troll, but he's also like, he's executive producer of the soundtrack and everything. And every soundtrack so far has had some new music. So the first one being Can't Stop the Feeling, with Max, that was done with Max Martin, and then he also did The Other Side with SZA, also with Max Martin as well. So of course there's going to be a new song for Band Together too, and it's called Band Together. So hint right there. The trailer features Justin's character reuniting with his band. Yeah, and in one of the trailers, you do hear a very ethereal, echoey version of I Want You Back with new vocals, which it's mostly Justin, but there are harmonies there. So even on Reddit and on Twitter and on TikTok and everything, the fans are getting excited, and now the publications are picking up on it. Everyone's thinking new song, NSYNC reunion, Max Martin reunion for the new Trolls movie.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important update. Today is September 13th, 2023, and NSYNC has been spotted at the VMAs. After 10 years and minor teasing yesterday, the comeback has begun.
All right, so we filmed the Pop 101 a few weeks ago, and a lot has happened since then. So we're going to provide a brief update as of today. So, earlier this month, mysterious posters started showing up around big cities around the U.S. It had the infamous Star N logo. Yes. There's troll hair.
Yes.
There's 5 different versions of the poster, and it leads you to a QR code, or, well, it has a QR code that leads you to takeyoutoabetterplace.com. So we have a song title, everyone. Yes. So you actually go to that website, you get to pre-save an unknown song, and it does automatically also save a Trolls playlist to your platform of choice.
Amazing.
And there's a play button, and if you click it, you get a little preview of like a 2-second whistle melody. And of course, those 5 trolls, or the tops of their heads from those posters, are there. And you can already guess who's who, because Justin's troll is obviously there. Lance's has rainbow hair. Joey's has red hair. Chris's has like the little goggles and the little like ponytail thing. And JC is like sparkly and blue. So there you go.
As he should be. I'm excited, okay? I'm super excited. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Take You to a Better Place sounds like someone's gonna die and they're pulling the plug. But, you know, whatever. It's cool. I'm still excited to hear the song.
Oh, man. Well, we did then get to hear a little bit more of the song because on Friday, September 8th, the Bob Baker Marionettes performed special NSYNC medleys at City Walk and the Walk of Fame in LA. And the medley ended with the chorus of Take You to a Better Place. And thank you to all the fans who did the fan cams, because we get some JC ad-libs and we get some Chris harmonies. It sounds good and very, very fun.
I love it. I'm happy. Oh, I cannot wait to be taken to a better place, okay? Oh, yes. Love it.
And then
Awesome.
Johnny Wright, manager, put up on Instagram
Yeah.
a picture of the marionettes on the NSYNC star with the caption, "Here we go."
What an awesome prep. And of course, if you were watching the VMAs last night, NSYNC was at the VMAs presenting to Taylor Swift.
Mhm.
Wow. Amazing.
Best pop video.
Of course, they would know. They've made some of the best pop videos ever.
Oh man, the teasers for the VMAs were hilarious to watch. Again, the fans, you guys were awesome. Like everyone's like, okay, Justin's in New York. And then it's like, wait, Lance just put up an Instagram post and he's in New York. JC is on a private plane and we don't know where he's going. Like it was so funny seeing all the updates that everyone was trying to figure out what was going on because
Oh, I love that.
all the members just happened to be in New York.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, it was brilliant. They look so good together. That little elevator picture that they all put up or post that they put up on socials.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very cute. I will say Taylor Swift's reaction was great. Like her just being like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you guys planning?
Right.
What's coming next? Like, I thought that was really, really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, great moment. Good start.
Absolutely. Yes. And also, if you were watching the VMAs, Megan Thee Stallion and Justin Timberlake did not have a beef. She was just really excited to see them and Black women talk with their hands. She was like, no, we have to be introduced properly. We have to talk for real. So yeah, clearing the air before someone tries to attack Justin. Listen, I'm waiting for White Chocolate Justin to come back. I've already said it, okay?
NSYNC first. NSYNC first. Shh.
Oh, yeah,
no
of course.
solo.
No, but hang on. White Chocolate Justin is great when he produces for NSYNC. So I'm on it. I'm on it, okay?
We're getting trolls first, though, because the latest report states that NSYNC will have a brand new song for the ending credits of Trolls 3, Band Together.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, due to the current WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes that have shut all of Hollywood down, the group cannot actively promote this song because it's for a movie.
Oh, you know.
So who would
have...
have thought that this writer's strike would get in the way of the NSYNC reunion?
Oops. You know what? Listen, it's one of those...
I support the writers, though, of course.
I was about to say, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, man, y'all better... By hook or crook, give me my money. Any hoodle doodle, we are so excited to hear whatever they give us, especially this new Troll song. But we got to go back to the Pop 101.
In my dreams, of course, I want every single appearance possible. I want live performances.
Yes.
I want everything that we possibly can squeeze out of them. And if my fantasy were to continue, it would lead to a full-on stadium tour.
Jesus, trying to kill these men.
And give them all the awards too. I want an honorary Grammy. I want the Video Vanguard just for NSYNC, et cetera, et cetera.
Artist of the Millennium Award. That.
But of course, I want to be realistic. Like if it's just a new song and them saying one or two lines in the new Trolls movie, I will happily take that as well. Because as I mentioned in the beginning of this class, my love for NSYNC has only grown, and as I've gotten to watch kind of all these different eras of pop groups, and now we have, mostly these K-pop boy bands that are still around. Yeah. NSYNC can walk all over them.
Yeah, they said,
in every way.
Put me in a ring. Put me in a ring.
Like it's kind of crazy. Like they were so talented. Yes. And the catalog mostly still stands up. Yeah.
Yep, and now with this whole revival, it's like they were hello.
It's peak nostalgia time.
Absolutely. And I think that's why we want them so badly. Right. Yes. I think that's why we want, give us a stadium tour. Honestly, I feel like we're going to get you remember that Old Town skit that happened years ago with these old men were doing but that's how we're going to get them.
No.
I'm joking. I'm going to shut up. But yeah, their influence is felt everywhere. I mean, Four Town from... Turning Red, did it on my, you got it. It's literally, you got it. Like, so Phineas and Billy.
They really should have had another opportunity would have been actually to have NSYNC voice Four Town.
Don't do that. Oh my God. Okay. You're right. That would have been amazing. Oh, Robert would have been Robert then or Robbie,
but then that would have gotten in the way of this potential Trolls thing. So it's okay.
That's true.
It's okay. Oh man. All right. So we're caught up. Yeah. Mid-August 2023.
Word.
But more could be happening. So My hopes are there. But in the meantime, we can highlight some of their amazing discography.
Yeah.
And we have some contributions from some of our listeners and friends as well.
Yeah, CCTV crew came in deep, boy. All right, so first we have David with his choice from the No Strings Attached album called No Strings Attached.
Baby, you're not the only one. You don't have to be afraid to fall in love. And I know that you were in the past, but if you want it, here's my heart. No strings attached.
So he says that the song has a universal quality to it. If you were a starry-eyed and hopeless romantic teen, you felt like you could relate to the either perspective as the guy chasing the girl or the girl, the actual Target fan, daydreaming that NSYNC, the guys themselves, would want your attention. So in actuality, that song was metaphorically written, and if I'm remembering correctly, how bad TransCon and Perlman treated them. So in this case, Jive Records is the protagonist of the song, and he says he's getting a little too philosophical, so he dropped off there. But it's interesting when you throw all those layers in. It's just like, no strings attached, save you from whoever. It just all makes sense. I'm with you on that, David. We're here.
Yes,
Conspiracy
that
theory.
song is so good. And watching all their
Yes.
concert performances and stuff too, they treated it like it was a single. They performed it in all their promo gigs and stuff. And yeah, that
Yes.
dance routine with the shoulder flicking, I love that. And great harmonies in that one too. All right, so another listener choice, we have Candace, and her choice is Selfish from Celebrity. So she says, NSYNC had incredible ballads with memorable melodies, and Selfish lets the group showcase these beautiful harmonies. And of course, she has to shout out JC's ad-libs and runs and says they are on point.
Yeah.
I love Selfish. Definitely one of my favorites from the Celebrity album. And it was produced by Brian McKnight too, and he also knows a good ballad.
Girl.
But yes, this melody is beautiful. Yes, and it is one of the ones on the Celebrity album that you can hear the other three as well.
Thank goodness.
So I appreciate that.
Goodness. Oh, God. But yeah, shout out to Brian McKnight and JC on this because you can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your pick, Chris?
This was so hard. But I ended up going with I Just Want to Be With You from the debut album.
I just wanna be with you. Girl, that's all I want. I wanna do. I just wanna be with you. Girl, that's all I want.
I was taking it back.
Yeah. So this was produced by Full Force, who also produced my favorite Backstreet Boys song, Spoiler, which is All I Have to Give. So this tracks, I think. I just think it's a perfect boy band song. Like if I was in a boy band, this is what I would want to sing because it's really smooth. It's cool.
Yeah.
There's a ton of harmonies. It's super catchy. There's a built-in dance break as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And it totally could have been a single. I know they released like 10 songs off the first album, but it could have been one, too, because it's super smooth and it's a little sexier than I think anything else on the first album.
Oh,
so it was a nice it would have been a nice transition into the second album, I think, as they were getting a bit older. But yeah, this is just one I look forward to every time. And the performance on the Disney special and on that first concert were really good. There's a ton of footwork in it. The drums sound amazing. And Joey and Chris do get some little highlight moments in it too. So just perfect all around.
Good pick. You know, I was trying to figure out, like, which one, Chris? Like, which one? Here, this one checks out. This one checks out. My actual favorite, like, this is NSYNC, and the one that my mom was watching with me that made her say these white boys can get down is Space Cowboy.
If you wanna fly, come and take a ride, take a space ride with the cowboy. If you wanna fly, come and take a ride, take a space ride with the cowboy.
She saw them and she was like, wow, okay. Like she said, these white boys can get down. But it's true. Like this song for me, like you said, if I were in a group, I would want to have this kind of song because it's allowing them to kind of use their R&B technique to deliver a more rockish kind of approach. Jerusalem, like he's giving that kind of like more rockish kind of style of singing. More it's smooth in some places with the R&B with the runs, and then the harmonies are there, and then Left Eye is rapping on it. I love that. Like anything on with her on it. Like she was at her like lyrical peak here before her passing because she was in her like spiritual digital like thing bag. So it was like everything was just wordplay and just strange lyrics. But for the time with how Y2K was coming in and people were like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Is the stock market going to crash? Is the world going to end and the bombs are going to go off? This song was just fun. Like if the world does end, why not just ride off into space and have a good time? Come with me. I'll take you off into this new place. Like I am like the best time you're going to have. And then the ya yippee ya yippee ya yippee ya yang yippee ya yippee ya yo. I struggled with that for so long until I finally got it like this week. And then Jay-Z was popping his booty in that video. So I mean, like, what more can I say in the concert?
Yeah,
special,
in that concert, that's definitely a highlight for me too. Oh man, so many good ones.
Indeed. So let us know in the comments below what your favorite song throughout the discography. And if you are from a different country or a different territory, please let us know what songs you liked from the albums that were not featured here in America. But yeah, it's definitely drop a comment below. And yeah, class is dismissed.
All right, yes, what do you all think about NSYNC? Please comment below. Message us at CCTV Pops on all social media. You can also hang out with us and the crew on Patreon because we need help. What should we cover next in this Pop 101 series? The Patreon crew gets priority, so let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show on a podcast platform, please give us a follow, rating, and review. Until next time, that's Jan.
That's Chris.
Oh no. And we're signing off from CCTV, the non-stop pop show.
Bye, 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 bye.